Hello, hello everyone. Welcome in. I was about to say I don't think that's how water works, but I guess technically it is. Nothing about this place makes sense. Hey, what's that place over there? What do you think it's for? Do I gotta get over there? Can I swim? Apparently I cannot swim. But also it's bubbly. Yes. The Night Prowler. So you're the lad who those brothers were talking about. I know the story. I'll take you there right quick. Ooh, look at the script here. Wonder if that means anything. Also, I know they can't have that many models, but I feel like I've seen that same girl 7 or 8 times. Ooh, hello. Look who it is. Appreciate you coming out. So it was you two. You expected us to roll out the red carpet right into our headquarters? Consider this a pre-show. Still, you really are just a kid, aren't you? Hey! I think we're the same age. And you're one to talk. I wouldn't go having a laugh at my big brother's expense. That's when I get to step in and make some points of my own. Brothers? And he is the elder? Here I thought the Magnus brothers' name was making the rounds. Shame that. It's fine. First defense and all. Won't kill you yet. Besides, Lord Luis has taken quite a shine to you all. Before we let you see him, I have a question. I want you to think long and hard before you answer, right? Everybody's looking at us, oh no. We're getting sinister looks from the whole pub. What kind of king are you selling yourself to be exactly? Go on, let's have the pitch. Ooh. Okay. I mean, technically, if we're being honest, our goal is to help everyone in need. And to treat all tribes equally. And I don't want to be king. So, like, what am I supposed to do with that? Treat all tribes equally, just like Lord Luis. Right, a bit much. She's off. You know, there's a big difference between mediocrity and equality. Not doing yourself any favors here, are you? Let's drop the pretenses, shall we? We were all about impressing Luis, and we've done that. You're all about results, aren't you? You'll answer a question from me, too. Why do you want to serve Master Luis? No lies now. I'm in love with or his church. That is the truth. See? We didn't have to lie to get our way. I think that's a win. Too right. They have no idea what justice is. You had a sorceress publicly executed, so you could get ahead. Not in a position to moralize, are you? You don't expect everyone to take our side. We're just here to right wrongs, that's all. Whatever. You've got some brass to you, I'll give you that much. Already got more accomplished than that Gladel ever did. You seem like the types to make yourselves useful. Not many get our Del's blessing. Worth celebrating that. For now, you're in. Someone like you should already know what it's like. The minority tribes face walls and barriers everywhere they look in society. Our greatest hope rides with Master Luis. We'll do whatever it takes to make you king. And starting today, so will you. Come on, then. Master Luis is waiting for you inside his gauntlet runner, the Charade Rias. And no funny business up there, yeah? Nothing gets past the king's magic, and Lord Luis is one of the top candidates. We've captured some, 10-odd assassins now? Lord Luis uses them for magic experiments, and well, you know how that ends. They finally have access to Lord Luis's headquarters. It's a valuable opportunity. Ideally, while most of our group is meeting with Luis, someone else can do a quick search inside. Wait! Me? There's no one more suitable. Anyone else would question their absence. Having a solo infiltration on my tiny shoulders? Oh, fine. I'll do it. Once we're in the Skyrunner, we'll assess the situation, then deal with our own tasks. It's already sunset? Time flies so fast. Lewis's gauntlet runner, the Charederas, is stationed in Warship Harbor. Let's take a ferry over there. Rare to see sober folks around these parts, but I appreciate it. Where are you off to then? You want to go to Warship Harbor? That's no place to visit after a piss-up, but alright, mind yourself and climb aboard. Didn't really hit me until we got right up close, but this runner really is huge. Oi, over here. Keep your heads out of the clouds, will ya? You bumpkins can fawn over the Charadras all you want later. We won't be flying for a good while anyways. What with the soiree and all. Soiree? What's that? Hey, Bass. How about you don't go telling them anything they don't need to know? We aren't officially friends yet. Now follow me. I'll give you the grand tour. Oh, and a friendly warning? Be on your best behavior. You try anything clever, you're dead on the spot. Make a rude comment to Lord Luis, dead on the spot. Got it? Also, should we not be hiding our ferry? Like, if she's going to be sneaking away and infiltrating, we gotta make sure she's safe. Not shy about making threats. We'll stay on his good side, okay? Let's not test his patience then, eh? Lord Luis is in the reception room, and you don't want to keep him waiting. We're running. Oh, this sort of implies we're entering a dungeon. We've got to seize the first foothold for our infiltration. Soon enough, Luis will be within our grasp. Damn, we just saying that out in the open? Rodel comes through here an awful lot. You know him, don't you? One of the Luis faction candidates. Sometimes he's got this beast of a dog with him, too. Sad to see a man with a temper like this with a pet, but wouldn't you know who it? He's sweet on that dog. Somewhere at the bottom of his black heart, he thinks that dog's cute or something. Strangest thing you ever did see. This runner bears more in common with a castle than a carriage. I can hardly imagine what its interior must be like. It's impossible to discern how much trust the brothers will afford us. Keeping our guard up around them will be crucial. Here we are. Go on in. Don't wander off until you get used to it. This place can be a real maze. Wow, there's so many soldiers here. I suppose we should have expected as much from Luis's stronghold. I feel like we're always being watched. Like it or not, an elder recruit is always going to stand out. But we're on the same side as all of them for now, so stand tall. You're the new guy? Hang on a minute, you're an elder. Well, ain't that a rare sight. Just do your level best, alright? We ain't shy about casting off those who aren't strong enough to keep up. So be sure you pull your weight, you hear? You hear about what happened at the exhibition? Some elder kid showed up. Forden, they say. And apparently Lord Luis loved it. That kid's going places, I can tell you that. Oh. Damn, is it true? Did Glodell really show up to the exhibition with the head of a human in hand? Yeah, the head was so small that hardly anyone noticed. Makes you wonder what the hell the point was. Yeah. It's you. I saw the exhibition. You put on quite the show, eh? You really gave those Sanctuses what for? And you're one of us now, aren't you? Well, cheers to new friends. Oh, you're the elder candidate that I've been hearing about. Apparently Lady Juna likes you too. She's staking her claim on some kid even though she's already with Lord Luis. Damn, Lady Juna's got stamina to spare. What does that mean? The reception room is on the top floor. This lift will get you there. Who was that? Oh, happens to everyone. Is it some sort of magic control locking mechanism? It keeps the suspicious element out, you know, like the bastards pretending they're grunts when they're actually assassins. Seems like a secure system. I assume you need a key to get around it. Yep. There's different keys for different areas. Only a select few ranking soldiers have them. You want to walk freely around the runner, then you're going to have to move up our ranks a bit first. Keys are only given to ranking soldiers, is it? Navigating this place may prove difficult without those in our possession. We will need to acquire them then. Oi! Already trading treacherous whispers among yourselves, eh? Quit with the gossip and get on already. Up we go. It's much bigger than I thought. I almost forgot we're inside a gauntlet runner. Quit looking around so much. Now, what have you got here? Are we letting schoolboys in the ranks now? These kids are our new recruits, so that's all it took, eh? A little show at the exhibition? Used to be you'd have to prove yourself before you could stand with the Count's men. I got Lord Luis's approval. If that's not enough for you, I'd keep it to yourself before someone knocks you off that pedestal. What? These peasants against me? Please, I'm a bloody sergeant. We could settle this right here, right now. They'll be wiping you off the walls. Oh, leave it out, Xanth. Get yours back to your post. That's an order. Just get this through your tiny heads. Power is everything around here. I give you 3 days at most till you run home, tail between your legs. Okay. Just gonna stand there, or are you gonna move? Come on. Also, they say they're brothers, but one is clearly a cat and the other is clearly a dog. Or maybe they're both clearly cats, but they're different breeds of cats. Seems very silly. This would be Lord Luis's quarters? Just a reception room, lass. He'd be daft to show a pack of strangers straight to his private quarters, wouldn't he? Lord Luis is waiting inside. Enter. It's my cue. Try looking around for this formula. Be careful. Lots of sharp eyes about. Try. You all stay safe too. See you soon, I hope. A beautiful city, Brailhaven, but it is its identity I truly respect. Oceania's navy might well have won them the Annex War if Euchronia hadn't chosen to forgo their honor and launch an opportunist attack in the wake of a storm. Even now, united in the kingdom, their pride in their power is what keeps the city alive. You wish to join my ranks. I need ask little else. Instead, I would hear what you wish to know most. Ask and I will answer. That is why I have bid you come here. Here we go. He's testing us. What should I ask? Your plans against Forden? Did you kill the royal family? So are you and Jonah. That's so funny. No, we know he killed the royal family. Plus, we're not trying to piss him off. I don't really care about his relationship with Jonah. So, I guess, yeah, what's your plan against Forden? How do you plan on winning against Forden? I will kill him. Not that my victory rests on doing so, but that man and sancticism both are malignant tumors in this country's flesh and must be excised to save it. Are candidates protected by the king's magic? The king is not a god. There is always a way. It is clear no small invention drives you. Perhaps keeping you close will prove useful. Well, assemble company. I hereby permit you to enter my service. We are much obliged. This is a heart of magic silver. Cut your finger and let the blood fall. A proper rite of loyalty shows how all our blood flows through the same heart. Yourself, though. If your own heart's not true to our cause, well, it's not just a drop you lose. You might take off a whole finger. You hesitate. Fear and anxiety. They always lead the people astray. But power and order trumps all. That is the crux of my rule. Seems we have no choice. In leather gloves? Good. It would appear we've passed. Look at you. Like knock-kneed lambs. Just having a bit of fun with you, eh? You think I'd go to all that effort? On August 13th, I intend to hold a soiree in this city. It seems a fine opportunity for you to make your debut in my retinue. Very exclusive, see? Only for those good enough to be part of our campaign. You should feel honored. As my gauntlet runner requires some maintenance, the party shall be held at the feast hall where I'm staying. In the meantime, do as you will. Let's go. I wonder how Gallica's search is going. Ooh, I want to see her side of the story. This here feels any different from the rest. I need a key to get in, though. It'd be nice if I could see what's going on in there, too. Is that boy candidate already here? Meeting with Count Luis as we speak, I think. Didn't think he'd end up on our side. Expect we'll run into each other on the job, eh? That said, let's get back to our rounds. This way. I have to hide. Oh, she's in the vents. So sus. This is the other side of the door? Never thought it'd lead to a place like this. This area just screams suspicious. With all the guards? If only there's gotta be somewhere around here. Is someone coming? Figures they'd show up now. At the songstress? What is she doing here? Lady Juna, is something amiss? I do recall saying I didn't need personal guard today. Yes, but this is Luis's personal quarters, and we thought, in case you need it. Well, I don't. You can do your guarding downstairs for today. Do you understand? And well, I mean, do you really want to be guarding the door when Count Luis returns? Oh, the things you would hear. How awkward for us both. You mean... Idiot. Don't make the lady repeat herself. Apologies, lady. We'll make ourselves scarce. You know what they doing. Opportunities like this are few and far between. Gotta get this back in place. Oh, wonderful. How were these arranged again? Magic spell. Is that the formula? Just my luck. I can't carry out something that big. Now I know where it is. Jolly good. We've got the man's eye on you. Now that you're sworn fealty, we can get right down in the guts of his Skyrunner. Worry for Gallica. Perhaps we asked too much of her. I hope she's alright. Seems you worried for naught. I'm back! You're clearly bursting with good news, too. I know, right? I found where the formula is. I'm pretty sure I saw the real thing. Even if it wasn't, I bet the real one's somewhere in that room. Masterfully done. We could have asked no better. An infiltrator. That songstress Juna was there too. I'm pretty sure it was Luis's private quarters. So I have to wonder what she was doing there. Whatever the case, I assume you could lead the way to the room? Well, yes, but it might be a bit tricky. To get to Luis's quarters, we need to go through the crew quarters, then through the starboard corridor, or the port corridor. We need a key to get into each of the divisions. Whoever is in charge at each guard post has one. Luis's private quarters have a special key, too. That one's held by the representative on the bridge. In short, we'll need to pass through 3 blocks. The crew quarters, either the starboard or port corridor, and the bridge. Looks like he usually has his quarters under guard. So we'll wait to pick a time of day when there will be less people around. If we need it less crowded, then how about the night of the soiree? Surely it would be a skeleton crew. Apparently the soiree will be held at the luxury inn that caters exclusively to the super class. The super class. This is related to the upper class. The soldiers manning their runner are bound to have duties in town that day. Would have us debut at his supporters on that night. How would we get away with not being present? Maybe if we just excuse ourselves for a short time? That's suspicious. We've got plenty of time to prepare, securing an infiltration route, finding out when it will be less crowded. This is all work we can get done in advance. On the night of, Gallica and one other will slip out. Swipe the formula, then return by the shortest route possible. Is anyone in mind? My hearing makes stealth jobs simple work. No, I think he'd be our best bet. Have the guest of honor himself absent? This is Luis we're talking about. He's bound to notice any absences. If we've lost on that front already, we might as well send our strongest. You think well. It would be risky as a near solo infiltration. Are you up to the task? No, Heisman made a great point. He's perfect for this. Why are you making me do this? He's perfect. I don't want to do this. This seems so silly. You'll be the ones in more danger, won't you? I can hardly deny it. You're right, and I'm well aware of that fact. Seriously, we're jumping from tightrope to tightrope here. We'll have to prep our infiltration strategy tomorrow. For now, let's get back to the inn and get some rest. By the way, do you remember the man we met in Luis's Gauntlet Runner? He seemed very proud of his strength. He was rather full of himself, yes. Sergeant Xanth, was it? He got told to go back to his post, which makes me wonder. He might be in charge of one of the runner's sectors. That would be unfortunate. I could tell his strength was formidable, even to be near him. I doubt he would simply let us pass. Please, we should probably rest for today. We can talk in more detail in the morning. The success of our infiltration depends entirely on your preparations after tomorrow. Don't worry, as long as we work together, we'll find the solution. Songstress has been in Luis's private chambers? Not that I would judge her, I suppose. At any rate, the operation begins tomorrow. Rest well tonight. The day of the prince's awakening may be nearer than we realize. We've got to make our preparations before that soiree. If I'm done for the day, I should rest. Yes. Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws near. Now, starting today, we need to work on an infiltration route to Luis's private quarters. The issue is those in charge of each area. The one holding the keys, 'twould seem they make a formidable lineup. What shall we do? Maybe the simple option is the best option. Get them alone, beat their keys from them, and push forward. What? Gallica, please. So aggressive. If we mean to attack, a short, decisive encounter is the order of the day. If they call for reinforcements, we may not fare so well. Luis' subordinates have attained their rank through martial prowess. If we wound their pride, negotiation may still be on the table. We need to be as prepared as we can before attempting this. So I don't get to say this is a bad plan. I think it's a bad plan. What the heck? Right. A new situation calls for new tactics. We ought to build up our strength by hunting bounties and the like, or we may end up over our heads. Unlike previous operations, time is of the essence when infiltrating. You will need to keep your battles short, defeating the officers within a certain number of turns. All the officers are quite strong, and each will require you to be tactical, gather information about them in the town, and utilize requests to strengthen your abilities. Give yourself a fighting chance. Maybe we could dig up some dirt through an informant. Who knows? They might have a weakness we can exploit. Well then, before we can secure our route to his quarters, it sounds like we have to do some digging before the day of the soiree. I just think it's a bad idea to beat the crap out of all these guards. Am I the only one who thinks that's a bad idea? The infiltration route must be secured so Luis's room can be accessed on the day of the soiree. If I steal the curse formula, Prince's curse can be lifted. At this rate, they'll surely die. Must my hands always be stained with the blood of children? What? Sorry, blood of children? Oh, have I seen you somewhere before? Now that I mention it, I do recall seeing an elder boy at the exhibition, one that looked to be the same age as... They say you've been traveling across the country, helping all those in need. If that's true, then may I ask your aid as well? During a training exercise, the city's guard corps were ambushed by a human. There were many casualties, especially among the youngest recruits. I need a special medicine to save them, but the shop stocks are exhausted and I can't make it myself, as it requires ingredients found only within a monster-infested forest. You'll do it, truly? I cannot thank you enough. The medicine is derived from the fruit called dragon's thistleberry. I hear it grows near the Garcia forest. Perhaps it would be wise to learn about the monsters that inhabit the place first. An informant may know more. One dragon thistleberry isn't going to be enough to save everyone, so I'll need 7. I know it'll be difficult, but lives depend upon it. Okay. Must be Garcia Forest. There should be places to park the runner between the trees. Please, mister, make me your apprentice? Apprentice? Where is this coming from? You're that candidate from the exhibition, right? One of my friends saw it and started talking about how cool you were. So I want to be like you, mister. Please let me be your apprentice. So that's why. We can't exactly take a kid like you with us. If you want this friend of yours to notice you, I'm sure there's other ways, like getting them something they like. Oh, that might be good. It's my friend's birthday soon, so a gift would be great. Maybe flowers, like from the flower shop? Oh wait, my friend wouldn't want any old flowers you can get from the city. That's boring. I got it. I'll go exploring outside the city and look for wildflowers. Sure, if you want to get eaten by a wild human, it's way too dangerous for a kid to go wandering out there. We've got a gauntlet runner. So how about leaving this one to us? You're really nice, mister. Then you'll bring me a flower? You can become Will's supporter in return. Basically, you just gotta cheer him on to help him become king. Okay, easy. I'll be your supporter, promise. I'll just wait here until you get the flower. My friend's birthday is August 10th, so before then. If it's a flower from another city we need, I bet a church would have it. Why not stop by St. Firmus Church and ask? Fine. Damn, those bastards think I'm making this up. I definitely saw it. I know I did. Yow! I'm in no mood to be gawked at, kid. My teeth are killing me here. It hurts so damn much. I've started seeing tooth monsters. At this rate, I'm gonna need my teeth extracted. Almost all of them. If only some kind of generous soul could help me. I need a certain item to cure my toothache. If only some kind fellow would bring it to me. I'll give you a lot of reeve. Fantastic. I knew you seemed reliable from the first time I laid eyes on you. I feel like I've seen you before somewhere. Right, you were the candidate at the exhibition. Then that's what makes this easy. The thing I need's just a quick jaunt away if you've got a gauntlet runner. So what's the item you're looking for? It's the pride of Inudo, the toothbrush of Hygienia. I need you to buy one. Of course, I'll reward you, and you'll have my vote, whatever that's worth. I'll wait for you until August 9th. Any longer, and I really will have to get them pulled, so please. Inudo is right here. Tried to go there myself, but every step just makes my teeth hurt even more. Ow! You okay there, buddy? Looks like I'm not going anywhere. Guess I'll be waiting here. God damn, that hurts. Boy, this guy needs help. We better go buy that toothbrush of Hygienia as soon as we can. Well, if it isn't my friend, Will, what a pleasure. But why the face? You're looking at me like I'm a stranger. But you visited Nightprowler. I'm its founder. Even if this is our first time meeting in flesh, I consider my customers a dear friend. Back off, little man. You're moving kind of fast. What do you even want with us? Well, I'm hoping you can do some negotiation on my behalf, so I can get my deed back. Tragically, I had to offer in a collateral on a loan, but even after paying my creditor off, I haven't been able to get it back in my hands. The man in question is a respected Ishkia noble, whereas I am but a humble Peripus entrepreneur. I doubt I can count on the law backing me. But he won't treat a high-profile candidate with the same rudeness. That's the kind of man he is. And of course, you'll be compensated for your success. I've got some unusual armor I think you'll find quite useful. Ah, listen to that confidence. I feel emboldened just hearing the words. The noble in question has a certain fondness for, shall we say, blood sport. I don't doubt he's watching a fight as we speak. He's an Ishkia fellow, positively dripping with disdain for us common folks. Can't miss him, I'm sure. I'll be waiting here. You just let me know when you've got your on that piece. Oh, we're looking for a pompous Ishkia, huh? One who enjoys watching fights. You thinking what I'm thinking? No. Because I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. Damn it all, my clients are expecting delivery soon, and these fool horns are hardly an ideal canvas for my outstanding workmanship. Hey, what's got you hollering like that? Oh, I'm simply a craftsman who takes pride in my exacting detail and peerless skill. I take monster horns and engrave them, transforming them into beautiful ornaments. But my technique has progressed to a level where these middling horns can't withstand the intricate level of detail that I try to grace them with. They fall apart as I'm working. That's too bad. If only there was a horn that was tough enough to withstand your technique. Oh, but that's the thing. There is a horn worthy of my skill. Apparently within the Forsaken Tower there's a giant called Orgus, whose horns surpass all others. But that tower is infested with monsters. The ebony horn is basically impossible for a normal person to retrieve. Why, I think the task could only be completed by someone who demonstrated a great amount of valor at the exhibition of the brave. If only someone like that was about. Ahem. Oh, can it be? Now that I get a better look at you, it is. You're the young candidate that everyone is talking about. Yes, of course. You could save me in my darkest hour. What's with the theatrics? It's obvious he recognized you right away. Whatever. You're going to give us a reward for this, right? Of course, of course. My pockets are overflowing with advanced payments from countless patrons of the arts. Like I mentioned, you can find Orgus within the nest of monsters known as the Forsaken Tower, located north of town. If you want more details, an informant would be your best bet. There should be one at the Greatest Catch. You know, the tavern in the Inn District? Alright, here we go. It's all about the tournament. They should allocate more manpower into slaying the monsters. Anyway, here to look at the contracts? Oh yeah, you're friends with Katharina, aren't you? She keeps pestering me to raise our bounty rewards. I can't say no to the best bounty hunter in the country. Just don't go slacking now that you've got a bit of a pay raise. I hear a voice within my mind. No need to thank me. I'm sure bounty hunting is calling your name too. Thanks to Katharina's bounty bonus, my reward money for completing bounties has increased. The bounty contract this time is for Fatalich, the Apparition, a monster who's taken up residence in a cemetery in Brailhaven. He's made the graveyard his personal undead paradise, chock full of demon skeletons ready to do his bidding. And it's not just undead that are under its thrall. Seems like it's also compelled a living beast to serve as its bodyguard, so they'll need to fight both at the same time. I know how strong you lot are, but this one seems like it'll be tough even for you. Even after everything we did at the exhibition? Well then, we'll just have to prove you're wrong, won't we? We can handle this, right? Promising. If you really insist, it's yours. You find the target haunting an old cemetery called the Tomb of Lament. Here, I'll show you where it is. If you'd like more intel from this particular operation, then you should speak with the informant in Brailhaven, which is said to carry the extremely rare Chalice of Legends. Bring it back as evidence you've defeated it. Nice! The Tomb of Lament is here. Pretty far north, isn't it? Oh, and it's off to Anglers Inn Square to talk to that informant. Interesting, a tavern where you catch your own fish. But I have to say, your last catch wasn't particularly impressive. Well, damn. Heckin' rude. Curious. Money makes the world go round, as the saying goes. As long as you've got it, you can do pretty much anything. So, what do you want to know? There's a man named Sergeant Xanth among Luisa's subordinates. He's the officer in charge of Charteris's crew quarters. Naturally, he's a tough customer. Santh, oh, that's important looking guy we saw at the Charteris the other day. What, an acquaintance of yours? Then you might know this already, but he's a large man wearing armor who holds strength is justice as his creed. I hear he was once a competitor at the Colosseum, too. He's strong, of course, but not invulnerable. Rumor is he's weak against burn and poison. Good to know. Since he's wearing all that armor, it's hard for him to just take it off and deal with those. I'm sure paralysis and stun will work well too, but Luis values power, and so while the old battle axe might have some weaknesses, if Luis trusts him, you can bet he's strong as blazes. I see. We'll have to find ways to inflict status ailments, of course, and it'll certainly be a dangerous fight if we don't do a bit of training first. No such thing as being too prepared, so let's head there when we're sure we're ready. We're gonna be talking to this guy for a while, I think. Battleford, eh? Maintenance Chief Siba, eh? He's in charge of the starboard quarter. Can't take a joke, so I've never gotten along with him. He's as strong as you'd expect, considering the authority he's been given. His magic that repels attacks is especially impressive. As you can guess, if you try to physically attack him, he'll bounce right back at you. The more you put into it, the more you'll end up hurting. That said, his barrier doesn't repel magic, but magic isn't especially effective either, from what I hear. To win, you'll need to find a way to perform physical attacks without having him bounce back at you. Not that I expect you'll end up fighting him. That guy sounds like a massive pain in the... If we don't improve our skills, we'll be done for. And since he uses magic that repels physical attacks, we'll want to find some way to dispel that too. Master Sergeant Gleckcom is in charge of the port corridor. Quite frankly, he's an absolute loon. Don't tell him I said that, though. I value my life. He's an intense person in a lot of ways, but the ways he fights in particular is, as I said, quite mad. He starts yelling like a madman and swings his axe all around him. You'll want to watch out for it, or it'll daze you. If I recall correctly, the magic shop sells equipment that protects against that. Might be worth checking out. All the blood rushes to his head, so he falls for being provoked really easily, though. If you bring someone to act as a decoy along, I think you could beat him without much hassle. Aha. Ideally, you won't have to fight him, but if you do, keep that in mind. We'll need a decoy then. You know, I think there's a skill that would be useful. But if we aren't strong enough, our decoy could fall and our strategy will be ruined. Let's ensure we improve our combat skills before fighting him. The Chandras helmsman, Cabio, is stationed on the bridge. He's a fervent supporter of Lady Juna. I have to say, I know how he feels. She acts so sweet and has such a lovely voice. Ah, I'm swooning here. I'd almost think she was a goddess. We're not paying for that. What's his fighting style? You planning to spar with him? Well, he's the only one Luis granted the privilege of being the helmsman amongst all his minions, so you can bet he's a strong one. Having said that, he's weak to electric. I hear he had a traumatic experience in a storm once. Rumor has it, when the weather gets rough, he even turns steering over to his second-in-command. Pretty solid evidence, isn't it? I guess we better prepare some electric magic then. But it's one of Luis's hand-picked officers, so it might be a tough fight no matter what. If time permits, we should train a bit before fighting him. Slow and steady wins the race after all. No point in hurrying. Salva, you say? He's the Charteris's guard chief. Got some business with him? He's not someone you've the opportunity to meet with often. His job's to patrol the Charteris on the lookout for intruders. The chief of security is no pushover. He's a powerful opponent who earned Luis's trust with his strength. They say he's got an almighty igniter that can damage any foe. Won't be easy to guard against that. I hear he's weak to projectiles and lances, though maybe his reaction time's slow. What's with wearing the big helmet and all? And that's about it. Remember that on the off chance you find yourself against him. Uses almighty magic, right? Sounds like it'll be trouble. I'm guessing you're through the Dragon Thistleberry. I am. The Kuka Sodas. That's lord over that area loves them too, so be careful. They'll unleash terrifying attacks if they see an opening. Some might even kill you instantly. I'd recommend having magic that hardens your defenses, but I hear it's weak to projectiles, so having those wouldn't hurt either. Hope your Dragon Thistleberry hunt goes swimmingly. Got it. Let's make sure we prepare thoroughly well. Okay. The Tomb of Lament, eh? Of course, I can tell you all about it. The bounty is called Fatalich. People say it's a ghost. That's scary enough on its own, but the real horror is how it summons a two-headed beast called a Kaienzma. It's not just fighting two enemies at once that's the problem. When the Menza's around, Fatalich attacks get stronger. It uses powerful dark magic, or so I heard from a bounty hunter who narrowly escaped from it with his life. You'd better either prepare ways to protect against magic or use the Chimenza's weakness, wind, to take it out quick. As you might expect, seeing as it's a ghost, Fatalich is weak to light. Couldn't hurt to keep that handy. Our best tactic is to devise a way to protect against its magic and also summon wind and light magic of our own. There's a Gupturos over there too. Its attacks are incredibly strong after it builds up its power, but I've heard it's weak to spears and bows. That's about it. Watch your step, unless you want your next step to be in the grave. Because most people normally stay away from the Forsaken Tower, it's become a complete den of monsters. Forsaken Tower is here? It's really in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? Among them, there's a particularly powerful giant called an Orgus. Be careful when it stores up power. Its next attack will hurt, let's just say, so keep your defenses up. But I've heard that if you can remove its buff before its next attack, the rampage won't be so bad. Fortunately, it also seems to be weak against dark magic. You'd best make sure you can use some of that. There are a lot of shops in Brailhaven dealing in rare ingredients. There are even stands selling meat harvested from monsters and such. Other than that, there's the butcher who sells marbled bluefin tuna and briny soles from the water shop. But the only specialty good you can get from a village nearby is really Mellow's milk. What's rare depends on the person, I suppose. I respect that there's more to you than strength. That reminds me, the younger of the Magnus brothers, his cooking, I've said too much, forget it. Do you know a village called Inyundo? A little ways up north of here. It might look abandoned at first glance, but there's still shopping to do there. Then again, they'll sell mostly rubbish like rusty weapons and armor. Maybe if you polish them up, you'll find some rare treasure. They also sell Hell's Bowling Bath Bomb, which is bath salt, Mellow's milk, as well as toothbrushes. Their specialty? That's all I can think of. Stop by if you're heading that direction. Okay. That's a lot of data that we just got. Back to the gauntlet runner we go. Now, how far do I run her then? Okay, we'll start here. I want a tool for cleaning teeth, yes? One of the strangest requests we've ever gotten, but I suppose there's a reward worth it. We should get there by midday. Can we make it back tonight? Of course, so long as we don't dilly-dally, that is. That's settled. It would behoove us all to prepare ourselves, even whilst on the road. Here we go. I hear a voice. Heisme comes to mind. Maybe I should talk to her. To Heisme we go then. Well, interesting. Why, hello there. For all the time we spend in battle, it's good to rest our wings every once in a while, eh? If you're free, might I have a moment of your time? I wish to clear up a misunderstanding. Let me tell you about the village. Sure, I guess, why not? Love the outside of the ship scenes during traveling. It is very interesting. Very cool. Then let us speak over a drink. I'll serve you something, assuming you prefer a drink more tame than my usual. What happened back in my hometown? You should know it wasn't Tadori's fault, even if he's the village leader. Villagers have always ostracized others like that, even when I was there. That's not their leader's fault. Is that the reason you left the village? Yes. There was an incident, one final push I could not take. Most other tribes hold little love for the Yugif, but in my youth we lived near two settlements of mixed peoples. We traded, traveled, relations were good, until one day conflict arose between the two settlements themselves. They began to feud, and both sides asked that our village side with them over the other. They wanted a decision from us. We were asked to choose who was friend and who was foe. Yet the village put off the decision. They took no sides and sought to appease both settlements. While we stayed the course of our hesitancy, their dispute was resolved. What ended up happening to your village? The village lost the trust of both sides, and they cut off all their trade. We were suddenly left impoverished. They called us Yugif inscrutable, unknowledgeable, and their prejudice only escalated. It even led to some violence, and yet the village tried to justify their predicament by saying there was nothing they could have done. They took no action to escape poverty and isolation beyond their bitter lamentations. That, more than anything else, disgusted me beyond words. So I abandoned the village and ventured out to become a knight of the cities. But Tadori remained to take a stand while I simply ran away. He took a role of leadership, determined to bring honorable change to our village. I, who did nothing but run away. There is a world of difference between me and Tadori. And yet, as we've seen, the village is still a long way from the change he strove for. The villagers are rigid in their mindset. They hope to maintain the little control they have by excluding and blaming strangers. All the backbiting and even the thief of the urn, all born of this clinging to separation, this xenophobic nest. Can't help but pity them. A fair enough assessment. In some ways, they're entrapped themselves. But you know, when I returned there, a thought struck me. I suddenly knew I would like to let my son sleep on that hill, where the sweet winds blow, that they may run free where he cannot. And yet perhaps the reason I'm so attached to my village is because I'm the same as them at heart. It was my indecisiveness that cost me my son, and my knighthood besides. This burial is no different. To think I waxed on about it being time to face his death, an excuse, nothing more, an excuse to run from yet another decision. There's nothing wrong with hesitation, but now my son is the one paying for my wretched hesitance. And see what has become of him. How can I call myself a father? If we want to solve this, we'll need more than despair.
Yeah.
No, I refuse to let this end here. Hesitation is in my nature, then so too do I hesitate to let go. Perhaps this is simply who I am. Will, I have a confession to make. When the urn was stolen, somewhere in the back of my mind I felt relief, because I'd not have to see it anymore. I'd no longer be reminded of his death, his heartbreaking absence. I don't want to think of it. I don't want to face it. And how could I, when every reminder shadows me? That's why I've put off the burial longer and even longer. But I must change. I would show my boy I'm a father worth his love, not his shame. And so too would I prove this to you, you who placed your trust in me. I can feel Haizume's fatherly determination and his deep trust in me. Significantly reduces the magic cost of studying the thief lineage. While in reserve, the amount of experience Haizume gains increases. I will soon depart for the village to look for my son's remains. My apologies for all you've been made to endure.
Yeah.
You don't have to shoulder all this on your own. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Let's head to the village together at a later date. Boy, a monster with the most particular color-changing eyes is clinging to the deck. Deal with it before it ruins all the hard work I've put into this runner. We'd better get rid of it fast before Norris puts our entire journey on hold to buff out any scratches or dents. We cannot allow the beast to make its way into the runner. To the deck with haste. Attack! Hey, reinforcement! Got him. The village of Induno, a small settlement located north of Brailhaven, lies ahead. The industry that once thrived there fell into decline, and now the able-bodied, a small population of mostly children and adults remain, and visitors are scarce. The gauntlet runners slow to a stop. Oi, what's the meaning of this? It's practically a ghost town here. The villagers around here are all like this. Those able to work have gone elsewhere to try to make a living, while the remaining residents live in constant fear of monsters. What a shame. 'Twas my intention to cook something interesting if I came across any unusual ingredients here. That's alright, I think I prefer food that's not overly interesting. It's a bit small, but it looks like they've set up a stall here. Want to talk to them? By the way, weren't you asked to buy a toothbrush of Hygienia? See if the store has it. Got the toothbrush. As you can see, our village is quite poor. Only people with strange tastes would be interested in the kind of goods we sell here. Not to worry, I doubt you'll ever come across a more eccentric crew than the likes of us. Our village might regain some semblance of liveliness if the candidates would defeat the monsters for us. Monsters shown up around here lately? Well, the way I see it, this village would be finished if monsters ever did show up. We've not many people left who can put up a decent fight. Lately, I've heard it's not just the area surrounding the village that's in dire straits. Even the seas have been rough. I do hope everyone who's left to find work finds their way back safely. Sounds like a lot of the villagers left town to make a living. Do you want us to relay a message to them about coming back? No, there's no need. Besides, it's unlikely anyone would divulge the fact that they came from this village in the first place. Okay, we got what we came for. Are we finished here? Now, how far do I run her then? Our task is to defeat the monsters and retrieve the Chalice of Legends, yes? Tombs and treasures certainly seem to go hand in hand. We may be in for quite a haul here. I'm not keen on robbing graves, but it does help fund our endeavors, so long as we don't overdo it. The spirits will understand. Here, the weather seems pretty bad there today. We might hit delays, so maybe we should get our fortune told. We'll have to camp for a night, but we could get there tomorrow. In that case, care to head there straight away? We've little time before arrival. Let's stay focused and rest while we can. Away we go. As the sky turns in the same muddy colors as the land below, the gauntlet runner arrives in a quiet land. However, confidence would be ill-advised. Listen carefully for footfalls in the mud and move at the break of dawn. Okay, let's talk to Hulkenberg. Let's heck and go. Have you not decided our plans for the day? Even knowing we mustn't let our guard down, a breather might do us some good. I apologize. I must ask that we save training for another time. Right now, I have some things I'd like to ponder alone. Could you spare a moment for me then? 'Tis about Rodanthe, the Knight Commander. My family found prominence through means beyond the wealth we lacked. Scholarship mostly, with some having developed a taste for politics. I was the outlier. My single-minded pursuit of martial arts put me quite outside their sphere, and considering my temperament, they had no idea what to do with me. My family offered me no meaning worth pursuing, so I volunteered for the Guard when I was still quite young. I thought that in the military I could blaze my own trail on strength alone, but well, such ideals are meaningless to House Hulkenberg. Before I had the chance to prove my abilities, they had already made arrangements to assign me to the Knights, ensuring I would not disgrace the family name. But I was fortunate enough to meet Rodanthe in the course of my trainings as a new recruit. He was born into a sordid rogue household, but his house dissolved and he joined the military after its decline. We were alike in that way, seeking to rise by our own individual efforts regardless of familial background. What changed? After our training concluded, Rodanthe was openly being considered for an appointment to the Prince's Royal Guard. However, instead, it was I, still tender in years, who was ultimately selected. Rodanthe lacked for nothing as a knight. He and I were equals in all things, save that my family had put the right words in the right ears. He was denied appointment to the Royal Guard. Instead, he was sent to the front lines alongside the common footmen of the state army. I'm sure he was frustrated. He made a name for himself and returned to the order, but to see him rise to the ranks of commander in such a short period of time. Are you trying to say you respect him? Rodante's current behavior does not befit a knight commander, and is hardly bears saying that we cannot allow such abuse of power. Even if I am partly responsible for his attachment to power, nay indeed, 'twould be all the more reason to intervene. But I cannot help but wonder whether it's even my place to judge him. Even as I sought to carve my own path, my knighthood only came at my family's behest, and after failing to protect my charge, I left the capital a wanderer. All these lofty words, what weight do they bear from one such as I, a knight errant and erred, failed in her solemn duty? That is not who you are, Hockenberg. Yet even if I now stay my course, what of my past self? What of she who wandered? Once upon a time, I thought myself righteous, a respected order, brought many a criminal to justice, and saw many punishment metered out. Yet looking back, I know it was a matter of convenience, a way to disguise the weakling I was. My knightly standing, a replacement for the family I had forsaken. Of course, in my time as knight, I failed to protect the prince and abandoned my post to seek him out with no more honor than a thief in the night. I fled my family. I fled my knighthood. Rodante, he sees this in me. Clarion clear. Okay. Damn. So you would repeat the past and run from Rodante? No. I was simply afraid to face him, and afraid of facing who I once was. Well, I'll help you through this no matter what. It is the way of a broken sword, I suppose. Brute force will avail in nothing, eh? But still. Why, yes, that sword. Perhaps I lost sight of something very important indeed. But you've always been there to remind me. I am truly indebted to you, Will. Know that you have my sincerest thanks. Hockenberg seems like she's realized something. I sense a further deepening of our bond. Let's go. Significantly reduces the mad cost of studying the knight lineage. While in reserve, the amount of experience Hockenberg gains increases. If I may, I'd like some time alone with my thoughts. When I've found my answer, let us speak here again. Time marches on, yo. Okay. We might as well read the book. Yes. To be honest with you, I've realized something. There are so many things in this world which, very simply, I don't understand. There's so many things I've learned since we started traveling together. You've really matured. What are you saying? That I was immature before? It's not like you knew any more about the world than I did. Hey, Will. No, this time we're traveling for our mission, but if all goes well, I want to go on another journey where I'm free to do what I want. Let's do it. Sounds like fun. Yes, let's. I don't know where we'd go, but I'm looking forward to it already. Of course, if I want to contribute further to whatever you do in the future, I'll have to keep working hard. Well, can you think of anything I can do to help you out? You're already helping me plan. Really? Aw, hearing that makes me happy. Especially since I don't have to do anything more to keep you satisfied. This conversation kind of went off in a unique direction, huh? Let's keep reading the book for a bit. Describes a new world. If a place other than this really exists, I'd like to visit someday. I feel like my imagination has expanded after conjuring up various ideas together with Gallica. Imagination. Still more left to read. Oi, break time, chums. There's something up ahead, so we'll be stopping here. The Gauntlet Runner arrives at a spectacular waterfall north of Brailhaven, and the water cascading down from the river between the canyon is among the kingdom's finest vistas, thanks in part to the monuments carved into rocky cliffs. Is the rumbling echo simply the water plummeting into the basin below, or the roar of the Mage King? What could this be? Yet again, it seems we found ourselves within the most peculiar of places. Something is just barely visible beyond the waterfall veil. A statue, perhaps? It must be. They look like faces. But why would anyone go through all the trouble of carving something like that behind a waterfall? And aren't their expressions kind of scary? Can't look at them without feeling overwhelmed. It must be difficult to carve the rock at a place like this. But just whose face could that be anyway? Is perhaps the likeness of one of the old hero kings? I believe a legend involved the Mage King is set within the region. I'd not question it if you told me this was all created with the Mage King's magic. They say he mastered immensely powerful forces, which he used to protect his people. I cannot help but think what would drive someone to go to such great lengths to carve such a terrifying monument upon these stones. Maybe they wanted to warn us of something. You may be right. For all his power, the Mage King suffered great misfortunes throughout his final years. Perhaps this serves as a warning to those who would follow him. Power closes as many doors as it opens, regardless of the intent with which you wield it. You may yet become feared and ostracized. Kind of sad when you think about it. When you put it that way, it almost feels like the roar of the waterfall is meant to represent the Mage King's cries of anguish. If that is indeed true, then we may best honor those sentiments by etching this place within our memories. We may think on it more, but 'tis time to return to the runner. After contemplating the Mage's Lament, I feel like my wisdom has grown. Let's go. Well, the particulars of the waterfall are up for debate. Their Majesty is not. I've made a nice little record of this site. Do take it with you. I'll give this drawing to Maria later. I head back to the runner, imagining the surprised expression that would appear on her face when I tell her about this place. Well, this is the tomb we've been looking for, is it not? What is our next course of action? We defeat the monsters in the back and retrieve the Chalice of Legends. They say there's a ghost in there. But do you think that's really it? Think back to the Grand Cathedral with Zorba and his profane arts. We witnessed specters that could easily bear such a label. It is likely, if not certain, that people have simply mistaken the true nature of this monstrosity. I can understand why people might wish the dead could return, but let's find this thing and put an end to the rumors. I've heard of weapons and ancient treasures being buried in these places, but they're probably off the main path. Will, we follow your lead. Just a second, I sensed something. This feeling, it was for only a moment, but I thought I sensed one of the relics Neris is looking for. Make sure you don't miss any treasure chests, okay? Yes. Fire! Alright. Excuse me, guys. Oh no. Big uh-oh. In the back we go. Look at that thing. Got him.
戦場さてどうするか。悪は正す。やめておく。交代する。覚悟はいいか。みんな無事か。前に出る。これが我が剣。突破する。
油断も慢心もせん。
大丈夫。やり加減はしない。貴族として悪は正す。突き抜けろ。こんなものか。なすべきことのために見切られた。
よし、片付け。アサシン。重装を使うか。
落ち着いていこう。さてソードマスター当たれ。諦めるわけには。マジックライト剣よ。
ニュージフの王者の力よ。解き放つ。眼鏡の敵だ。正義のためにソードマスター貫く。相手をよく見る。それが我が剣。
Got him in the end.
でも勝ちは勝ちね。よし。もう敵はいないわ。安全になったみたい。
I think we're pretty set. We're pretty good. We'll pick up here tomorrow. Saved. We're good to go. I hope you all have a peaceful, restful evening, everyone. All my sleepy sheepies. Bye, everyone.